Hey everybody, so I'm in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I just got here maybe a couple hours ago, and I had to run over to see this amazing place, which is the memorial from 1995 attack on the Alfred P. Murrah Building. April 19th, 1995. The day that Terry Nichols and Timothy McVeigh changed all of our lives. There are some very interesting things that a lot of people don't know about this area, comparing what it looked like before and after and now. So I'm going to show you some of these things. So what you're looking at it, and to put it into perspective, the chairs that you see out there represent every person who was killed in the explosion. 168 chairs, 168 casualties. And where the building was right where those chairs are, and actually you can see there's a line of pine trees that represent the building itself. The water that you see here was actually the road, and all this green grass actually was a parking lot. The interesting thing is, when the explosion happened, this building was heavily damaged, but somehow this tree survived. So this beautiful American elm was surrounded by a parking lot filled with burning vehicles on that day. Somehow it survived the impact and survived the fires. Incredible. So where I'm walking now used to be the parking lot, and this water was the street. And over there was the building. Right here, this is where Timothy McVeigh pulled up in his rented truck full of explosives, parked it, and walked away. This was the Journal and Records building, but this building is now the museum. Not much has changed. They didn't really fix too much of the outside of this building. There's huge cracks left in it. Remnants of things that rescuers wrote. Do not enter alley. Basically signs letting people know that it was dangerous here, that this building was at the time condemned. It was very dangerous to be in this area. So a little further up on the records building, you could see what someone put on this wall from the day of the blast. We search for the truth, we seek justice, the courts require it, the victims cry for it, and God demands it. Incredible way to let your frustrations out, and the fact that it's still here is amazing. Team 5. So this is a fence that's right outside of the memorial, and it's covered in gifts and things that people have left behind. Seems like most of the stuff is for children, which is really sad. A lot of teddy bears and dinosaurs, and there's even a ballet slipper. So one of the things that you might notice when you come here is there's numbers on these two walls. One is 901 and across is 903. So the 901 behind me represents the innocence of our country. And then the 903 on the other side represents the change that our country as a people, the change that we went through after that blast. The blast happened on 902. So there's that minute in between, which is really interesting. So these are the chairs that represent everyone who died that day. 168 chairs, 19 of those people were children. In the center here, the chairs are very close together, and as you work your way out, they get further and further apart. And what that does is that represents the impact zone. This was the area where most of that damage, the heaviest damage, occurred. The interesting thing is, on the fourth tree, 1, 2, 3, 4, this pine tree right here, pretty much is where he put the truck, where the truck pulled up, and that's where the bomb was, in the truck, parked right here, right in front of the building. And the building itself, if you follow the line of these pine trees, this is where the building was. In fact, there actually is one last existing wall to the Alfred P. Murrah Building, and it's right over here. So this is the survivor wall. This is the only remaining wall to the original building that was here. It's pretty interesting that they left it up. And these plaques that are here attached to that are all the names inscribed of the survivors. Over 600 people have their names here. Incredible. So this wall right here was the wall to the parking garage that sat below, and this was up here where these flagpoles are and that glass railing is, was the main entrance to the Murrah Building. And we can go up there now and I'll show you what it looks like. So this is the way you used to enter into the Alfred Murrah Building, right here. And now it just overlooks the memorial. Amazing to think that this is where that building stood from 1977 to 1995. Now, yet another thing that many people might not know is that when you come up here above the parking garage into the main area, this was the main entrance, to the right is the playground. This was the playground to that daycare center that was in the Murrah Building. That's incredible. You know, it's nice to see that a lot of people still come here to pay their respects. A lot of people, which is really great. I think for a lot of people, this is still very fresh in their mind, even though it happened way back in 1995. It's pretty powerful to come here, pretty incredible.